Hello, my name is Nino, and this is Beginner Infinity Flow. And today's, I was thinking to work on hips because, as we all know, we spend a lot of time sitting or behind desks or even driving bikes. Sometime if you live in Amsterdam, and yes, the hips can get a little tight. So it's a beginner-friendly class. So if you never practiced yoga before, don't worry, it's not going to be too hard. And if you practiced yoga before, well, enjoy it because sometimes it's good to take it easy. So today, we're going to take it easy with the hips. So it gets as easy as it gets when we start lying down. Same thing, if you want to use props and you have any, you can maybe prepare 2 blocks, so anything that makes you feel safe. So let's start lying down our spine. And today we're going to extend the right foot forward, legs straight, and drop the left knee in toward the chest. So I believe that yoga is the process of knowing, discovering your body. So let's take a few breaths here just to feel your left hip joint. And as you keep your spine flat on the ground, bring your thigh closer to your lower abdomen. So now I'm gripping my left knee with both hands and I'm drawing a circle to the right, left, forward and back. So let's go maybe 3 more times in one direction, relaxing your left hip joint. And then 3 times, or maybe 5, to make it even on the opposite direction. So nothing to do here really, but just exploring your hip joint. One more circle. Slowly relax. And now I'm just going to extend my left leg in front and observe maybe any differences here. Same thing, right side. Hug your right knee in toward the chest. And before anything, just observe. How is your right hip feeling? Same thing, drawing circle, one direction, maybe starting right, up, left and forward. Let's go 2 more circles. Repeat, same thing, opposite side. So now that we observe the body, let's try to watch the breath more. Same thing. After your 5th circle, stretch your right leg in front. One more time, relax your leg. So now we're starting over again with the left knee coming in. But now I'm bringing my right foot flat on the ground. And I bring my left ankle right on top of my right knee. Just like we did with the left side, interlock your fingers onto your right knee. And same thing, observe your hips. Maybe feeling more of a stretch onto your left hip now. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Press your left foot flat. Right ankle, left knee. Relax your hip joint. And one more time, try to hold your left knee using both hands. So one thing that happens sometimes here when we do this simple stretch, the necks start tensing. So make sure you're lowering your chin toward your chest and relax your hips. 3, 2, 1. So now that we're here, we can go back to both knees in toward the chest. Slide your hands onto your right and left knee. And same thing, draw a circle. Now going up, out, and forward. It looks like an easy exercise. Let's repeat here 3 more times. But actually it's very good for your hip joint because we're keeping them mobile. Let's go for one more time. And now opposite side, out, up, and forward. Because as we all know, being flexible is good, obviously. That's why yoga is so good. But being able to move as we age is also really good. One more time. So now we hug both knees toward the chest. We can move from side to side. And maybe you can find differences here. So now the hips are ready. Bring your hands behind your knees. Rock back. And rock forward as we sit. So I'm going to start facing you today. And let's start by folding your left leg at a 90-degree angle. And bring your right heel right in front of your left knee. Press your sitting bone. Inhale, raise your palms up toward the ceiling and open to your side. So my goal now is bring my left hand all the way to my left side and move the space between my right hip and my hands. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Fingertips are along the ground. Stretch your leg. Transition. The leg that was in front will go back. The leg that was back will go in the front. Press your sitting bone. Inhale, raise your arms up. And as you exhale, same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to center. So now we're going to turn our hips facing the front of the mat. And be careful your knees here. Press your knees on the floor. Shift the body weight on 204. So I'm going to start here with my left side so you can see what I'm doing here. And let's repeat the same thing, starting all fours, the knees in line with your hips, wrist in line with your shoulders, and we repeat circling the knee for 3 times. Left knee off the ground, out to the side and back. 1, 2, 3. Let's repeat the same thing opposite side. Right knee off the ground, front, back. 1, and out to the side. 2, 3. One more time. Left knee go up, forward, out and back. 1, 2, 3. Back to set. Last time. Right, out and back. Back and back. So now relaxing the hip joint. The hips should be more open. Same thing, taking our time with hip joint today. Open your right knee slightly out to the right, left knee to the left. It's kind of in wider child pose. Toes are touching, and as I bring my fingers forward, I'm trying to sit low toward my heels. It's a little different here because my knees are pointing out. So maybe you'll feel a tiny bit more hip stretch. One more time, and we hold back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As I'm looking forward, press your palms on the ground, bring your knees back to parallel, and let's relax the belly onto our mat here. So remember, this is a very beginner class here, so we're going to start very easy by pressing the palms down. Bring your chin on the floor, and try to maybe grab your right ankle. As I'm grabbing my right ankle, I'm stretching my quads on my right side. If it's available here, try to bring your right heel to your seat. Be careful, if your spine is hurting, push your navel in, and feel a very easy stretch from your quads for 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Change hand, grab your left ankle. If you run a lot or you're just sitting a lot, sometimes it's tight here, so your ankles can be stretched too. As you try to bring your heels to your seat and actively press your thighs on the floor for 3 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Press your palms on the floor, walk your hips slightly forward, and as you press your ankle, inhale into up dog. And you can move from side to side, massaging your hips on the ground. Curl your toes, back to downward facing dog. So today we're going to change the stance of downward facing dog, so it's very simple. Take a big step out to the left, take a big step out to the right. And let's use here this modified down dog to open the shoulders, lowering down for 1,
2, 3. So now that we're here, let's not change the leg position, walking your hands all the way back. So we're gonna work into what I like to call auto rotation. Point your toes slightly out, right and left side, and take like 5 little squats. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4. After the next one, beginners try to set low here, drop your sitting bone between your heels. More advanced, press your palms together, using your elbows to send your hips out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back, walk your fingers forward, feet still turn out. Stretch your leg. Eventually, bring your feet back to parallel. Walk your hands back forward. And finally, bring your heels back into downward facing dog. So we're going to take it very easy. Today, variation of downward facing dog. Your right heel will be off the ground, and your right toes press down. Press your left heel down more. Inhale. And as you exhale, switch side. Bending the left knee, press the right heel down. Let's move from side to side for 6 times. 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. 4. 5. 6. Raise both heels, bend your knees. On your next exhale, moving from your heels, press your heels down. 1. One more time, bending your knees. Use your hips more today. Exhale, press your heels down. Last time, inhale. Exhale, press and hold. You can move your hips from side to side. Feel the top of your leg, your thigh region softening for 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, raise your left leg up. As you exhale, step your left foot forward. So we're bringing the right foot flat on the ground. Bring your right ankle on the floor. Or see watch here, you want to watch one small detail, but still important here. Tilt your sacrum under. So if you're not really understanding the meaning of this cue here, try to squeeze your butt on your right side. Bring your hands onto your left knee. And we're just moving a little bit. Drop the right hip down. 1. So try to see this knee here, gonna be not too much forward, but a little bit is safe. 1 more time. So now we hold here. What I'm doing here, I'm trying to open the right hip joint. If you feel like it's too easy for you, no problem. Step the left foot forward more and relax the right hip as low as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Press your palms down. Step the left leg back. Knees, chest, and chin. Opening your hips into up dog. Same thing, you can massage your leg from side to side. Back into downward facing dog. Same thing, we're playing with this today, trying to find down dog from hip joint. Bend both knees, raise your heel. So every time I exhale, I'm trying to send the top of my thighs back and down toward my heels. 1 more time. Exhale. 1 more time, I like this one. Inhale, exhale, the top of the thighs down toward my heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, looking forward, raise the right leg up. As you exhale, bring the right foot down. Drop the left knee. Press your left ankle. Same thing, very easy. Engage your glutes. Move a little bit. So you want to go a little bit into angle here. 1. So a lot of yoga teachers, they say, don't bend your leg more than 90-degree angle. But actually, it's kind of safe, you know. Nothing's going to happen to you. 3. 1 more time. Stay here. If you want a little bit more, just step the right leg forward. Da, 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 da. And as you exhale, relax the left hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, walking back. Step the right leg back. Up. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, up dog, opening the hip. And let's go back into our downward facing dog. But now variation of down dog. Bring your heels and feet together. Walk your hands all the way back. So today we find something called hip hinge, which is very important, no matter what physical activity you're doing here. So you want to bend your knees, bring your hands here into your hip hinge. So when I'm folding from this place, isn't it? 1, folding from your hips. And then bending, send your hips back. 2, good. So watch from the hips hinge here, bring your palm forward. So this little line that we find here, try to push it forward without using your back. 1, I'm opening the hips. Back to center, hips go back. Forward, 2. Last time. So now we're holding here. To make it easier for our spine, both thumbs go into your sacrum, which is the lowest part of your lower back. Get your sacrum under, and push your hips in front, just a little bit. 3. Remember, back bending is not really happening in your back. I mean, of course it is, but mostly here into the hips opening. 3 more, 3. 2, 1. So I believe you guys are getting in here. So bending from your hip hinge, sit back into chair position. Exhale, folding from your hips. So you can use blocks here, or if you don't need blocks, you can bring your fingertips, palms down, slowly lower down. Make sure you have room behind you. Extend the right leg at a 90-degree angle. If possible, walk your hands back. And maybe try to go a little higher. 5, 4. So now I'm working with the top hip opening. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale, folding from your hips. Same thing. Feel free to either bend your knees or use your blocks if you have to. Raise the left leg. 90-degree angle. That's the goal today. Or maybe walk your hands back more, and now use the back hip here, opening more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your feet together. Bending from your hips. Inhale. Send your hand forward now. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, and without using your lower back, push your hips in front. So one thing that I like to tell myself that can help me sometime, I want to feel my quads going beyond my knees, slightly in front. 3. Energize your leg. 2, 1. One more time, back into our chair pose. Inhale. Same thing, hip hinge. As you exhale, forward folding. Let's move back into our plank. Knees back in position. And let's go ahead here with knees dropping on the ground. So remember, starting with the knees off the floor. So same thing here. Raise your right knee off the ground. So watch, now my right hip go back. 1 time, up. Right knee toward your chest as you exhale, both hands on the floor. My right knee go back 2 times, still thing working on hip. Last time. Extend your right leg up. Keep opening your right hip joint. But now that we're here, the left hand reach forward. And eventually you can reach around, grab your right ankle, and eventually here, lastly, pull the leg back, still opening the right hip for 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Inhale, look up, cow. Exhale, back into down dog. Same thing. Softening the very top of the legs, the hip region. 3, 2. Rolling into our plank. And let's repeat the same thing opposite side. So first try to find your hip flexors here, raising the left leg. And I'm trying to lift my hip higher. 1. And as I exhale, closing. So we call this hip extension.
and flexion. Last time, extension, extend your hip. Lift, 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 lift. Right arm reach. Engage your core, right hand reach. Grabbing the ankle, extend to your hips and pull back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Inhale, cow. Exhale, back into cat. 5, 4, 3, 2. So I'm going to start now with the right leg extending up. So remember this famous, notorious hip extension we worked on today. Right hip extend, but now open to your left side. So this little extension here that's happening, it's actually kind of important. I notice this like with my practice. If I'm actively bending my right knee and sending my right hip, I can feel more by engaging my right glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Shake up your leg if needed. Actively extend your left hip now. Inhale. Remember, lifting, lifting. Use your glute. Bend your left knee as much as you can. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to downward facing dog. Good. So now we should be ready to work on the other one. Let's start today with warrior number 1 actually. Raise your left leg up. Look toward your left hand and try to step your left foot right where your left hand was, which is here. Up. Step your right leg, 45-degree angle, slightly to your right side, and let's go back to our hip hinge, meaning stretch your leg, and both hands are back on the hip. Bending the knee, 1, and back. 2. So my focus here is into my right hip as I'm actively pressing my right leg down. 1 more. Last time. So we do the same thing here, bending from the hips, but let's start arm position. Press your palms together. And today we're just going to keep arms parallel with left leg. Align your shoulders, your hips. Square your hip joint and feel your right hip working a lot for you. 5. Let me say one more time. Arms parallel with the legs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to our plank. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, up dog. Relax your hips maybe. Back to down dog. So these beginners friendly class, I actually love teaching them because remember, they set the pace of your practice. Because no matter what you do, as we say in boxing, because even if I do yoga, I like boxing, ahimsa, it's all about the basics. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step your right hand right where your right foot, right where your right hand was. Left foot back to the left at a 45-degree angle. Going back to our hip hinge. Stretch. So we're here. Imagine one line. 1. So that's what we mean by squaring your hips here. See where the fingers are. One line eventually, ideal word. Hips are parallel. Same thing, arm variation. Press your palms together and try to feel the line of your arms parallel with your right thigh. And if it's available, slightly turn your body to your right. Press actively to your left foot. Feel warrior number 1 hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press your palms down. Step back. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, relax your hips from side to side. Maybe walk your hips closer to your wrist. Press your ankle back into downward facing dog. Same thing. We can always play with keeping the toes flat. Bending your knees.
feel the top of your leg, your thigh region, and try to stretch all of this back and down. One more time, bending the knees, one big inhale, stretch the top of the leg, back and down. Last time, inhale, stretch back and down, moving from side to side. And let's today try to close our eyes here. Another very famous saying that we're hearing into the yoga circles is like wherever your mind goes, prana flows. So bring your mind into your hip joint, your breath there, and let's hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl your toes, drop your knees, press your ankles, and now with feet parallel, relax your hip crease into your child pose. So instead of prana, we can use attention. Wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So what's your thoughts? 3, 2. So now we're gently shifting the body forward, press your knees on the floor, and try to walk both hands slightly to your left side so that your thumbs are touching. No transition here. Step the right foot up into the front. Beginning lizard pose. So as the thumbs are touching here, I want to move my left knee away from my hand. So we can stay here for a few times here, drop the shoulders, but eventually, with time maybe, or maybe today, bring your forearm down. And same thing here, relax your left hip joint. Relax your left hip. I like to rock my body from side to side, so I can use moving and stretching at the same time. 5, 4, 3. Same thing if not available yet. You can bring your palms down. Make sure you're dropping consciously your left hip to the floor for 3 more count. 3, 2, walk your thumbs back. Same thing for good balance here. My thumbs touch, and I just roll my right leg back into my child pose. Checkpoint. How are my hips feeling? They should feel pretty open now. 3, 2. Okay, same thing opposite side, rolling to all fours. So now both thumbs are touching towards your right side. Step your left leg forward. Same thing. I would recommend maybe staying here for a few breaths so you can go a little lower. But keeping in mind that the goal is having eventually your forearms on the floor. Same thing, still moving here from side to side. So even if I'm having auto rotation on my left leg, the goal, if any goal, because yoga has no goal, just being happy, press the right foot down, relax your right hip joint into lizard pose, move from side to side. If not available yet, relax your right hip. Just 3 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Same thing, how to get out of this situation. Walk your hands back, thumbs to thumb, press, roll around. And one more time, going back to today's beginning class, the child pose variation. Open your knees out to the side, toes to toes. Fingertips will go forward. And as you tuck your pelvis under, sit back for 1, forward. Sit back for 2. Last time. Sitting back for 3 and hold. So as we're coming toward the end of this class, we can eventually relax the ends completely. Relax the forehead on the floor. And as you close your eyes, going back to, I would say, the core, the juice of our practice, which is internal work.
Feel and relax your inner body. Try to get in touch with deeper layers of yourself. Let your inhale open inner spaces. Let your exhale relax, soften inner spaces. Slowly breathe in and slowly breathe out.
Eventually, meeting into our knees. If available, bring the knees back together. Ankles, feet pressing together. Relax your hands onto your lap, feel your hip joint. And same thing, try to integrate your practice. How do I feel after 30 minutes of yoga? Can I sense my nervous system maybe more relaxed? Do I feel a deeper, closer relationship between my body and my mind? Slowly press your palms together. Lower your chin toward your chest. Thank you very much for your practice, and see you soon.